Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're going to be looking at a few different things. We're going to be looking at this new Halloween event that's come back that's got some great features, and I really do like one of the features in particular, which we'll be going into a little bit of detail in a minute. We're going to be going over the ship we're going to be using. We are bringing out the Ikitursa again we used it last Crimson Harvest. I can't believe I've had this ship a year and it's still alive. Mainly that's the key one, it's still alive. We're going to be running some of these Crimson Gauntlets. We're going to be doing literally any of the sites we can get to, and we can see we're going to go over some of the loot. We're going to have a look at the data and relic sites that are spawning for them as well, to see some of these advanced sites we're going to be looking into to see what we can get. I may have to get the Marauder out for that, but we shall see. And we are going to be running them in nullsec, as I don't really fancy doing them in highsec, to be honest, because I don't know, it's just too much effort for me to get to highsec with this Ikitursa, and I can't be bothered with that. But first of all, we're going to be diving into Pochven, having a look at something that was brought to my attention about a week ago, but I've been away with work, so we're going to dive into that and have a look at that right now. So I was flying around Pochven, and one of my friends told me about something that they'd seen in Scarcon, as you can see in the top there. This is one of the production facilities for the Triglavian ships, the Zenitras in particular, and they were looking at these structures here and whether it could be a new ship. It could be possibly a new ship coming, but I think judging by the size of it, compared to those Zenitras that you can just make out in those frames in the scaffolding there, I think it would, if it was going to be anything, it would be a Titan. But I think a Triglavian Titan would be a bit too overpowered because of how much the DPS can ramp up. I mean, my Zenitra can go to 35,000 DPS, I think it is. That's with full tank fit, and I know some people have got ones that can go to 50,000 DPS. So a Titan, you get it with this, you'd have to remove a Doomsday and whatever. So there's speculation on whether they're just a new ship that's under construction, or they're like some form of defense turret, but no, haven't seen them activate or anything on anyone. And I've been sat there obviously deep in my Cinnable, so they're not aggressive turrets if they are turrets, but they've definitely got the energy core on them, which is the source of the Triglavian ship's power. They don't seem to have sort of any engines unless they're under construction, but if you look carefully on the back, you can see that they have it's almost like the little force field where the drone bay has. You can see it on like things like carriers and super carriers. They have a drone bay, and it's like a force field that obviously stops. Well, yeah, you know what a force field is. So I was looking at these, and I was having a good look around them. I mean, as you can see, there's quite a close-up on the energy source there. But that is just an energy source. The weapon is a completely different thing. If you've seen Triglavian ships, you'll see that the weapon is actually a solid ball projected out of like a turret slot on the actual ship itself, whereas the energy core itself is like that. You can see it on the Lashak, you can see it on the Rediva, the Vedmak, the Ikitursa. They've all got that core there that looks exactly like that. So I don't think it's a ship, unless it is one that's under construction. But as you can just see the sheer size of it, it is like 10, 15, 20 times the size of a Zenitra, which the Zenitra Dreadnought is quite a chunky ship. Here we are warping our Ikitursa into the very first site, and I'm 99.9% sure they are exactly the same as last year's Halloween events. If you were around then, you know what I'm talking about. You know how easy they are in a heavy assault cruiser or a battleship. Like a Praxis can do them, or a couple Praxis. So you warp in, you've got two gates, one for unlock, which you get a specific key from, and yes it is. So you warp in, you get pointed, web scrammed, target disrupted, tracker disrupted, neuted, all the good stuff. But I'll cycle through this so you can see how it goes, because you've already seen it before.
One eternity later.
There we have it, boys and girls. So I've tried to condense that down as much as possible. There's a lot of information being in this video about the update and all this sort of stuff. So this is what I had in my loop for just from popping around for, I think it was about an hour roughly, just for going around getting these data sites and a couple of relic sites. So those modules that you can see on screen in the top, in the fleet hangar, are the implants and all the stuff I got from doing the data sites. I already sold the war clone banks from the from the combat sites that you saw at the start of the video that I did with the Ikitursa. Already sold the war clone banks from those. I think it was about 70 something million. I had about 70. I ran 2 of them. I thought I got another one of them on video, but I did a couple of them on video, but I don't think I did, which was a bit annoying. But all in all, I think it's a good temporary side step of content and added to the game. It is it is exactly the same as it is last year. It's just different names, and you've still got your shortcut gates that you can get, which I got a few keys from the data sites. If that's of any interest to you. It's the same process, the same improved AI, so they will hammer your drones. The battleship comes in at the end. The battle cruisers still do a crap ton of damage, so just be careful with those. It can be easily done with a single heavy assault cruiser, or if you want to go around in a couple Praxis, which is probably cheaper than a heavy assault cruiser. There you go. That's how you can get that get those sites done. They are worth it if you're bored. There are obviously better ways of making money, but it's a nice little change up of content. So it's a little bit different from your standard anomalies, or, I mean, don't get me wrong, I will be going back to doing my capital crab sites because that pays so much better. But yeah, these are good. It's a nice little bit of content. I'm looking for the PvP loot drops. So if you are out there, guys, and you're in high set, get suicide ganking, because 90% of whatever's on their ship or in their loot is going to drop. So go make some money. But I hope you enjoyed, guys. If you have, make sure to subscribe. If you really like the video and you want to be a really top sausage, put a like on there. Otherwise, guys, have a good weekend, and I will see you maybe over the weekend on a live stream. Head over to Twitch, which is just on the screen. Yeah, take it easy.